Guys, thank you for joining me this evening. We are live here now with emergency tornado warning coverage. We have a tornado warning here in North Carolina, just off to the west of Statesville. The storm is heading towards Claremont, Catawba, Newton, and it just went through Maiden. So if you are in this tornado warning, you need to take cover immediately. The storm is rotating very well, right? It looks like it may be trying to let up a little bit, but we take it back just one scan. We may have had a possible tornado on the ground for a second there to the east of Maiden. This warning was just issued. In my opinion, this should have been issued several minutes ago. I've been watching this storm for a while now. But we take a look. There was not a debris signature, I do not believe, on the correlation coefficient. It's really tricky to tell because it is quite a messy spot, but it does not look like we ever had a confirmed tornado on the ground here. At least by radar, we may have had one, and we may start to see reports of that spilling soon here. But for right now, what we have to worry about is continuing to watch this tornado because we're not done yet, right? So actually, maybe just to the south of Maiden, we possibly had a tornado on the ground for a little bit. It looks like this could actually be a CC drop from that tornado here. That right there, that could be a possible tornado that did drop down to the south and the east of Maiden. But this tornado warning was just issued, so I've kind of been waiting for it to get issued so that I could go live at a proper time. This is not the only storm we have, all right? We are watching several storms. We got some in West Virginia. We got some in North Carolina. We got some all the way back in Kentucky. In fact, the storm that we were watching earlier that did go through Knoxville, Tennessee, does have some wind damage reports. We do have a report of trees down near Bearden, and then also a report of trees down near Lake Forest, okay? So we did have some wind damage from that storm there. There was not a tornado with that. Those were just straight line damaging winds. We were watching it on live cams, and it was pretty impressive looking. So, sorry my computer was a bit laggy there. I am trying to download a twisted video from my editing software right now, and it can't really do that, go live and use Raider Omega at the same time very efficiently. So this is what we're doing right now, right? I just knew that I needed to go live for this event because this is very close to putting down a tornado. Again, it possibly already did to the south of Maiden. We'll wait to see damage reports out of that. But not only do we have severe weather to worry about, we've also got flash flooding. We've got widespread flash flood warnings across West Virginia, Pennsylvania, Ohio. We zoom out here, which is probably even worse for my computer, but we have a line of flash flood warnings that goes all the way from south of Charleston back to the north of Pittsburgh. So it's a very widespread area of flash flooding here. We have had this storm here in West Virginia that's been trying to rotate for a long time now. Has not managed to really do anything that impressive, luckily, but at this point, we are more worried about our storm down here in North Carolina, that again did possibly put down a tornado for a couple of seconds there to the south of Maiden, and this storm is heading up towards Claremont. So if you're in Claremont, you need to take cover now. Again, we had a possible tornado on the ground for a little bit. We'll have to wait for the National Weather Service to confirm that. It may have just been a brief touchdown, but we are not too sure at the minute. And unfortunately, the warning was not even issued at the time of that dropping down. So the public was most likely not aware, so we just gotta hope and pray that we do not see any bad reports there out of that. Because again, that was a possible tornado on the ground, and there was no warrant for it. So the sirens probably weren't going off. The residents were probably not aware of this here. So that's not great, obviously. But yeah, we still have this tornado warning. If this is not on the ground right now, it has a very real possibility of dropping back down somewhere near Catawba. I don't know how to pronounce that. And then also Claremont. So you need to be taking cover if you are in this warning here. Again, it's still decently rotating here. There's nothing immediately evident to me that this is producing a tornado right now. But again, a few frames back, all right, I think we may have had a brief tornado on the ground south of Maiden. That right there could be contamination from the radar, but I don't believe so. I think that was a little bit of tornado debris in the air there. So we'll have to wait and see if we get any reports out of that area of a tornado or anything. We already had one strong tornado today down in Florida, and now, we're talking about North Carolina, so we really have a big round of storms on our hands here. This is kind of the final day of this massive severe weather event. But just because it's on the exit does not mean it's not going to be intense. You know, this tornado that potentially touched down is only in the marginal risk of severe weather, and in fact, yeah, they are, okay, so they are in the 2% risk of a tornado, but still, probably, we're not expecting a tornado to drop down in this area if you are here, but, it might have, actually. Again, that's not confirmed yet, but it is my belief, at least, that a possible tornado touchdown to the south of Maiden. So I have to wait for the National Weather Service to confirm that. But right now, we've got this situation to still deal with. This storm is still rotating very well. It's still very impressive. And we've got to watch it as it heads up towards these populated areas here, like Claremont and Catawba. Catawba? Is it Catawba or Catawba? I think it's Catawba. But yeah. We do have a couple other severe storms here in North Carolina, but they're right next to this, and none of them are as impressive as this one. So we're going to keep our eyes on this here. Hopefully my computer will be able to handle this a bit better once my video's done downloading from my editing software. Again, sorry about the lagginess. Yeah, if you watch my streams, you know it's usually not nearly this bad. It looks like it's calming down, though. So, that's good. I mean, my computer. This storm is still intense. It's not quite as loud anymore. The lagginess is stopping. I think my video might have finished downloading. The only reason I didn't get a notification is because it knows I'm live and it doesn't want to show that. But yeah. Again, we have a possible tornado trying to develop here. Or maybe it canceled my video download. I don't know. It doesn't matter. This is a live situation here. We do have a storm rotating just a little bit there in South Carolina. It's not as bad as it looks, though. A lot of that is contamination from the radar site, but still rotating just a tad there. Again, the main area that we are watching here is western North Carolina. In fact, we just got a tornado watch come in. All right. They were talking about a 40% chance of a severe thunderstorm or tornado watch being issued in this area, and it looks like they pulled the trigger 3 minutes ago. Wait, no, that's not it. It has not even popped up yet on the SPC website. Wow, so this is brand new. Usually Radar Omega does not load the watches that fast. Alright, it is out on the NWSX page. It reads, a couple tornadoes possible, isolated hail up to half-inch size possible, and scattered gusts up to 65 miles per hour possible. So this is a very low-end tornado watch. In fact, the only thing that's even getting it issued is the tornado threat. Because while the other threats are very low, the tornado threat is relatively high. We could see some isolated damage and wind events, but there's a new mesoscale, which I thought was the watch update on the SPC website, but no, that hasn't even come in yet. But there's a new mesoscale for portions of just a sliver of southwest Pennsylvania there. Pretty much the entire state of West Virginia, except for the western bit there. And then just a sliver of western Maryland. Isolated tornado and wind damage threat expected to continue over the next few hours. So we're not done yet, you guys. Again, but right now, we're looking at North Carolina. This is an ongoing storm. It's not like, oh, something might happen. It's, no, something is happening. Unfortunately, we're about to enter a very gnarly radar hole here. In fact, we're kind of already in one. Take a look at the terminal radar, but it's not very good, obviously. It's not ideal, at least. This whole cluster of storms here in central and western North Carolina is kind of in a big radar hole, unfortunately. And that's not really going to change because we don't have any good radar coverage out here, really, in central and western North Carolina. This whole area here is in a really bad radar hole. It's too far for the Northeast Tennessee radar. It's too far for the Greenville, South Carolina radar. It's too far for the Roanoke radar in Virginia. It's too far for the Raleigh, North Carolina radar. You just don't get good radar coverage out here, and that's obviously not a good thing. Like this, even out to here, this area is notorious for being a pretty bad radar hole in the weather community here. They're in central North Carolina. Which is unfortunate. We could actually go ahead and bring up a webcam here. This is a cyclone port. This is actually from Ryan Hall's Weather House. This is from East Kentucky. This is Pikeville, Kentucky. Got some rain coming down. Looks like it's mainly clearing up, though, in that area, actually. We could bring up Charlotte, North Carolina. That might actually be a good idea there. There's the Bank of America Stadium. And then we'll also bring up our other our Charlotte live cam here from the Charlotte Football Club. So we've got a look from downtown Charlotte, and then also a look from far southeastern Charlotte there, near Matthews in North Carolina. This is kind of off to the south of our big storm here that might have already produced a tornado, but we've still got some storms coming into that area that would be nice to watch, be fun to watch, because they shouldn't be that bad, so they're just kind of interesting, you know. We do have a new wind damage report. It's not that one. It's not that one. Aha. No. It's this one. No. I thought there were only 2 reports here. Oh, yeah, this is it. Trees and power lines down on Ronnie Fox Road. Now, that was reported about 40 minutes ago, so there's still probably likely some damage out here in the Enola Petch Gap area. This storm did just move through there. Oh, I don't want it on 100 frames. I had that on for last stream. We have a new tornado warning. For another storm here in North Carolina. This is off to the north of Wilkesboro. And yeah, that's actually rotating pretty good there, unfortunately. So if you're in, let's see here, Mulberry, you need to be taking shelter all the way up to Stone Mountain State Park. Luckily, this is a very mountainous area, so there's not a lot of people that live out here most likely, but still, that is not good. And to me, this new tornado warning is rotating even more impressively than this one down here. Now, this one down here's kind of died out a little bit. Should still be taking shelter if you're in the warning, but it's not quite as impressive. And it's also not in a very good radar coverage zone, so there's not a lot we can look at. This one doesn't get great radar coverage either, but it is a little bit better here. So again, there's your rotation in there where the tealish color and the gray colors meet. That is off to the west of Fair Plains in North Carolina right now. This is going to be heading off to the north here. This is moving to the northeast at 30 miles per hour. Kind of north-northeast, actually. And the rotation may not be as impressive with this new radar scan, but I'll tell you what, the damage and wind threat went up quite a bit. We're talking about wind gusts about 75 miles per hour, about half a degree off the surface. And, you know, we're in the mountaintops anyway, so the winds are not as dramatic as a difference from 75 miles per hour as it would be if we were looking at a flat area. So we could have winds here close to 70 miles per hour. So you're going to be wanting to take cover, even if this doesn't produce a tornado. I will say, this little guy here near Taylorsville, this might actually be our next tornado warning. This is an intensifying area of rotation. It's not super strong yet, but I'll tell you what, it's a damaging wind maker right there. A lot of that's contamination. It's not actually 87 miles per hour, most likely, but it could be close to that. And again, that's elevated anyway, so. But anyway, there are several areas on these storms here that are actually trying to rotate pretty decently. Again, we have completely lost our radar coverage here on this storm near Claremont. so we cannot look at this anymore. You see that area of just green? That is our no data zone area, so unfortunately we have completely lost sight on this storm here. That's what I was worried about, because now we're not going to know what it's doing on the radar, at least, unless we get a report. We're not going to know what it's doing. And unfortunately, even the terminal radar, it's got a little no data zone area here, cutting right through where the area of rotation is, unfortunately. So even that's not an option right now to look at to see the rotation. Wow, yeah, that area of high winds is even more impressive now, with winds close to 85 miles per hour, half a degree elevated. And again, those mountaintops, they're going to make the difference from 85 miles per hour not as much as it would be if it was at the surface. So we could be talking about winds close to 80 miles per hour here. So even if you're not, like, worried about well, obviously you're worried about a tornado. Even though there's not a major immediate tornado threat, this is still a storm capable of producing wind gusts up to 80 miles per hour. So that can act as a EF0 tornado type of winds. That's going to do tons of damage to trees, power lines, some shingles on your roof. If a tree falls on your roof or something, you're going to want to make sure that you're underground so that that doesn't hit you, because that can be very dangerous. You don't want to play around with that. And again, on top of that, we do have a small tornado threat with that. Speaking of power lines, I do want to take a look at the state outage map. So, from yesterday's event, we had close to 140,000 people without power in Louisiana alone, I believe. That number has gone down to about 48,000, which is obviously a huge difference, which is good to see. Mississippi still got about 21,000 customers without power. Florida has about 10,000 people from today's event. Most of those are probably coming from this county here. Let's actually take a look at the county outage map, because we can do that with our handy-dandy Radar Omega tool here. Not a sponsor, it's just really nice and useful. No, actually, most of those are coming here from the Perry area, from Taylor County. We did have a severe storm move through that area that did produce flooding. Looks like we got about almost 3,000 people in that county alone without power. That is about 20% of the county without power there. And we're already starting to see some counties with major power outages here in North Carolina from this cluster of damaging storms. So we're going to turn the outage map off and start to take a look at these storms actually again. This guy back near Claremont, we are able to see this again, and it's looking like it's trying to recycle here and rotate decently again. So you really have got to take cover there. Our storm near Mulberry, not quite as impressive anymore, but still, please do take cover. You're under a tornado warning from the National Weather Service. Seek shelter now. We're going to go ahead and take that cam off, just to clear up some room here, some space. Again, this could drop a tornado very shortly near Catawba, and that would not surprise me. Again, I'm still not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. Hopefully I am. I'm just not very good at name pronunciations of towns in general, and I that's just kind of a weird town name. In all fairness, I'd say, no offense to anybody that lives in Catawba, North Carolina, but it is a decent-sized town there, so, you know, hopefully everybody's in their safe place. Hopefully the sirens are going off, alerting the community about this major tornado threat here. Again, we may have had a brief tornado touchdown south of Maiden here. We'll have to have the National Weather Service look into that. Got on the south side of Maiden, not even too far south of Maiden. It's just on the south side of the city, the town, whatever. We could have had a brief tornado touchdown. Again, not confirmed, but it's very likely, actually, at this point, at least to me, that happened. Again, it may not have, and anyway, it was really weak. Okay, so this was not contamination. We mentioned this earlier here. This is extremely concerning. The National Weather Service has issued a new tornado warning. All three of these tornado warnings are for separate areas of rotation. I know they're in very similar locations, but they're for three different areas of rotation, and we talked about this. We mentioned this about how this could have been mostly contamination, but no. Even the National Weather Service is recognizing there's some very good rotation here, heading for Fishing Creek, Edgewood, Windy Gap, Antioch, Rhonda, and eventually Jonesville in North Carolina. Take cover now. Now this is the most concerning storm. We keep switching storms we're watching, but they keep firing off here. This was not the location this is expected to happen in. If you would have told me I was going live tonight for Ohio or West Virginia, I would have believed you. But North Carolina, I do not think this is going to happen here. New severe thunderstorm warning. That's going to be for Alexander and Iredell counties in North Carolina. That is for this separate storm here, moving through Taylorsville, so look out. But yeah, even the Storm Prediction Center didn't think this is going to be centered around North Carolina. As you can see, we only have a little bit of a slight risk in this area, a marginal risk for most of these areas of rotation. They only put it at a 40% chance of a watch being issued, and that was even after some decent rotation. And now this is playing out to be possibly one of the more significant events of the day. And again, that rotation is actually very concerning there with this storm that is eventually going to make it to Rhonda. And even without the tornado being down, again, winds over 90 miles per hour, half a degree elevated. And we're in the mountains anyway, so we could have some winds 80 to 85 miles per hour here in the Fishing Creek, Windy Gap area. So you need to take cover now. This is a very serious situation. Potentially a life-threatening situation. We may even have another area of rotation trying to develop there over Mountain Park. They just keep popping up here in North Carolina again. We don't even have any severe thunderstorm warnings in West Virginia or Ohio where the event was expected to happen today, but North Carolina is pulling up with 3 tornado warnings at once, all for different areas of rotation. That is crazy, honestly. Anybody wondering, this, I don't believe this is debris. Yeah, there's no way that's all debris. That's contamination. So, that does not confirm the tornado. Maybe you're sitting there thinking, wait, that's already a debris signature. No, that's not. This little guy here near Catawba is really trying to reproduce. Again, I'm saying reproduce because I believe there's definitely a chance there was a tornado south of Maiden. Again, it's not confirmed. I'd say it was about a 50-50 if that was down or not. And if it was a brief touchdown, hopefully and most likely, but still, it goes through a town like that. It's not good. No tornado's ever good, but seriously. Alright. Just as quickly as these pockets of rotation form, though, they do die out. This could easily recycle, and it's still relatively intense here, so you need to stay in shelter in this tornado warning. All of our tornado warnings right now, in fact. But it's not quite as concerning anymore. We're going to hope that dies out. This up here, and this warning that just is around it just passed through the Hays area, is less concerning now. I think we're going to be switching back to the original storm we were watching at the very beginning of this stream. This storm right here near Statesville that just went through Claremont. Again, the only problem with watching this is the radar coverage is terrible there in that area, unfortunately. And again, we got, even on the terminal radar, we got that big line cutting right through where rotation is. Just the luck. Ooh, shoot, Mr. Storm's calling me. Hey, what's up? I had that trial thing again, so I want to know what happened. Oh, I'm actually live right now. You're not on the stream, but I am live right now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. What? Oh, they can't hear you. Hold on, I'll put you on.
Okay.
All right, they can hear you.
What's going on, everyone?
That's Mr. Storm. Mr. Storm, we've got 3 tornado warnings in North Carolina right now.
Yeah, I saw that one near Raleigh, or at least moving towards Raleigh.
There may have been a brief touchdown near Maiden, North Carolina. There's a possible CC drop.
Oh, wow. Wasn't there a PDS in Florida?
Yeah, there was a PDS all the way back south of Jacksonville.
Wow. What did the correlation coefficient look with that one?
I watched back a stream, and it was pretty intense. There was definitely a pretty good drop.
Wow. Alright, well, I have to take off, so I'll see you guys. Stay safe, everybody.
All right, see you later.
Bye.
Bye. All right, everybody, that was Mr. Storm. I didn't know if he wanted to be on live or not, so I had to walk away from the stream for a second. Anyway, again, I think this is going to be our next tornado warned area of rotation near Union Hill at the minute. That is looking very concerning to me. Looking back at the storm here approaching Rhonda, the rotation is not as impressive with this one again, but the damaging winds are no joke. We've got winds close to 95 miles per hour, half a degree elevated, so take cover now there. That's heading right for you, and again, there's a minor tornado throughout that supercell still. We have another storm that just went through the Knoxville area that was almost severe. It had 50 mile per hour winds and pea-sized hail, it looked like. Let's actually take a look here at Knoxville. Nah, never mind. This cam's looking the wrong way. Welp. That's a pretty impressive storm, actually, on the reflectivity. It's not severe warm, but it does have a pretty high-end special weather statement there. It's almost, high-end enough to be severe warned. Not quite, though. So again, the 3 tornado warnings we have right now are all centered here in central North Carolina and western North Carolina. There are some strong areas of rotation here. One near Statesville, one near Jonesville, and one near Mulberry. Passed through Mulberry already, but again, I think the next tornado warned cell will be this here. Also got something trying to rotate maybe a little bit there over the North Carolina-Virginia border. It's going to be approaching Galax, Virginia pretty soon. That's a very populated city, obviously, so watch out there in Galax. If you're in Galax, you are technically under the tornado watch, just barely there. Look at our Bank of America Stadium cam there in North Carolina. It's shaking a good bit. We got some heavy rain, it looks like. Maybe not heavy rain, but some light rain at least. Some sprinkles there. Let's take a look at that. 31.5 mile per hour gusts. Wow. Thanks for having me, Lamau. No problem. No problem. I will let you know whenever I'm done streaming, and we can call if you would like to. And I'll kind of catch you up on what's happened today. If you are still watching. Oh, wow. Okay, so winds over 95 miles per hour. Again, about half a degree elevated here, but we're in the mountains anyway, so it's really not even that highly elevated. Take cover now in this tornado warning, because there's also a major damaging wind threat associated with that. Possibly winds close to 90 miles per hour, even at the surface with this. Which, again, is going to act like a EF0 tornado.
Do you want to go grab my paddles?
No, I'm live. Sorry if you hear my brother screaming in the background. very hyper. If you couldn't tell by that screaming. I wish I had that much energy. And I don't feel like I'm a very, like low energy person, but compared to him, my goodness. He is only 5 years old, but seriously, dude. It's actually double box here. I know it's super ugly and nobody likes it, but it is useful in this type of situation where we're watching a lot of storms like this. Again, I think this will be the next tornado warning storm here to the northwest of Dobson. The presentation on reflectivity doesn't look like anything crazy, but the velocities are definitely showing there is some pretty significant rotation there. And all three of our tornado warnings, they're still rotating a little bit. This one up here near Mulberry is much less concerning now. It's kind of just a severe thunderstorm at this point. That's really weird. Why is it not showing there's a severe thunderstorm warning when I click on the tornado warning? I don't know. I think that's got to be a glitch. Oh, now it is. When I click it on the reflectivity, it does, but when I click it on here, it doesn't. What the heck? Do the velocities only care about tornado warnings? Like, what? Okay. Okay. Well, I did end double boxing because even in a situation like this, it just makes everything more confusing, honestly. Let's take a look at West Virginia, what was supposed to be the impressive storms of the night. Where, I mean, we got heavy rainfall, that's for sure. We got a ton of flash flooding going on, but severe weather? I think not. If any severe threat at all, it would be this line of storms that just went through Wheeling. Maybe some damaging winds associated with that. Oh, there we go. Flash flood emergency. They just issued a flash flood emergency. Wow. Okay. This is a flash flood emergency for Oakdale and Coraopolis in Pennsylvania. This is to the to the west of Pittsburgh. This is a flash flood emergency. Seek higher ground immediately. This, again, just came in. Literally just now it came in. Seek higher ground now. Deadly flash flooding. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and play the sound here just to draw on anybody's attention that has this on in the background because they need to know about this.
Flash flood emergency issued.
There's a flash flood emergency once again. This is for McDonald, Cecil, and Coraopolis here. Why are all these town names so hard to pronounce? Anyway, in Pennsylvania, flash flood emergency for Oakdale and Coraopolis. This is a particularly dangerous situation. Seek higher ground now. This is a PDS/emergency flash flood warning. Life-threatening flash flooding, thunderstorms producing flash flooding, and this is reported significant flooding. It's not like this is just a radar indicator threat. This is confirmed. Again, this is a particularly dangerous situation. Seek higher ground now. Life-threatening flash flooding of low water crossings, small creeks and streams, urban areas, highways, streets, and underpasses will occur. Again, this is a life-threatening situation to the west of Pittsburgh. Seek higher ground immediately. Don't even think about it or wait. Just go now. It's so interesting that we have this level of flooding in this area. Unexpected, to say the least. There's flooding at the intersection of Noblestown Road and Station Street. There is also flooding on Route 980. There's flooding at the intersection of Clinton Avenue and Robinson Street. A vehicle was trapped underwater with a water rescue performed. So This is the kind of flooding we're dealing with. There are cars that are getting trapped underwater because of how much rain has fallen. Oakdale Road and Oakdale Borough closed due to flooding. Again, this is an extremely dangerous situation. One of the more dangerous situations you will find yourself in your entire life. I'm not saying that to be dramatic. I'm saying that because you have to seek higher ground if you want to guarantee that you're going to be okay in a situation like this. We already had somebody that almost found themselves in a very bad situation, and okay, I hate to break away from that. We have a tornado on the ground. Tornado is on the ground now near Rhonda in North Carolina. Let's see. This is a radar-confirmed tornado. Again, this is a tornado on the ground near Rhonda. Not seen a CC drop, but again, we are in a very bad radar zone. The velocities are very impressive with this, so this could be a strong tornado, possibly. It very possibly could. Alright, everything is kicking off. I'm going to go ahead and update the stream title to Tornado on the Ground in North Carolina. Again, this is a confirmed tornado on the ground. Seek shelter immediately. This is just going through the west, to the west of Rhonda right now. Live tornado on the ground. Alright, so again, not only are we experiencing life-threatening flash flooding to the west of Pittsburgh, we've also got a confirmed tornado on the ground near Rhonda, heading up towards the Pleasant Hill area. Again, Rhonda is a very big city here, so even like the west side of Rhonda is going to be pretty heavily impacted by this tornado. That again is confirmed to be on the ground now, according to the National Weather Service. And in fact, let's see where the velocities line up. Never mind, that's probably not a CC drop there. That's just a radar signature. But I do want to see where this is at and what it looks like. There you go. I mean, again, this is on the northwest side, just to the north and the west of Rhonda, over the big Bugaboo Creek. Again, all these weird names, man. Anyway, this is a confirmed tornado on the ground. Take cover now. And the one that was heading up, that past Mulberry, has been allowed to expire. This one off to the north and the west of Statesville is actually looking quite a bit more concerning again at this point. So we'll probably see a new warning issued for that soon because it's about to leave the warning polygon. We just got a new warning for the one up top, the confirmed tornado on the ground. This is not PDS. This is for Dobson and Jonesville. Take cover now. Again, we have a confirmed tornado on the ground. Flying debris will be dangerous to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be damaged or destroyed. Damage to roofs, windows, and vehicles will occur. Tree damage is likely. So again, if you are in a mobile home, evacuate that home immediately and find the nearest substantial shelter. If you don't have time, if you have like a minute until this tornado hits you and you don't have time to find a shelter, the thing to do is get into a ditch, get out of your mobile home. I know it seems insane, but this has been proven to work. It's been proven to be more effective than to be in a mobile home, but to be in a ditch. Because if you're in the ditch, the tornado usually does not adapt to the surroundings, so it will hopefully kind of go over the ditch, and even if it goes right over you, hopefully the winds will not be quite as intense as they would be at surface level. If you're in a mobile home, that thing's getting shredded. There's no safe place to be during a tornado in a mobile home, and it could shred you along with it. So if you don't have time to seek shelter, and it's like that dramatic of a situation, then get in a ditch if you are in a mobile home. And again, only do that if you're in a mobile home or if you're like on the road and it's there. That is the only time that is appropriate. That's still not a good solution. The thing that we prefer for you to do is to take shelter in a sturdy building underground somewhere. Again, this is a confirmed tornado on the ground. Not 100% certain, but that could be the start of a correlation coefficient drop there to the north and the west of Rhonda right now. Again, this is not PDS, but this is a confirmed tornado on the ground, doing damage, and it's going to spike off to the north and the east here towards all these little communities in the mountains. Take cover now if you're in this tornado warning. Again, this is in North Carolina. And the area of rotation near Statesville, again, is looking very intense. Even if there's not a tornado, those winds are insane still. Or at least they were, and they still are, but not quite as impressive with that newest radar scan. But they could spike right back up, so look out there. Take cover. Again, I cannot stress this enough. If you're under any tornado warning right now, please do be taking cover immediately. And yeah, there you go. That's almost certainly some sort of debris signature. Again, this is a confirmed tornado on the ground, not PDS. In my opinion, this definitely has some level of potential to go PDS. If you don't know what I mean when I say PDS, I mean particularly dangerous situation. Every tornado is a dangerous situation, but if you're under a PDS tornado warning, that is an even more dangerous tornado than your average tornado. Those are only used whenever there is a possibly large and strong tornado on the ground. I almost said long because I tried to combine the words large and strong. I went large. New severe thunderstorm warning. That is going to be for the Iredell, Catawba, whatever counties. Has the tornado possible tag on it, which almost makes me think they're not going to reissue this tornado warning. Which is a little bit surprising. There's still some pretty good rotation on that, but they might. They still have time, obviously. Again, yeah, that is definitely some sort of debris signature there to the northwest of Rhonda. It's showing up on both radar sites here. Or, sorry, actually, we were looking at the same radar site. Let's look from Greenville. Can the Greenville one even reach that far at all? Yeah, it looks like it can, and again, we might have a debris signature there. Might have a correlation coefficient drop. It's definitely possible. Oh, maybe it wasn't. I don't know. I've been saying this whole time that it was, but it might not have been. I really don't know. It doesn't matter. According to the National Weather Service, this is a confirmed tornado on the ground. Take cover now. Again, this was going to start off as coverage for this one tornado warning near Claremont. And I was like, oh, this will expire really quickly. It's not going to do anything. Then we'll be good to end the stream. And it has turned into nearly an hour-long stream covering tornado warning after tornado warning, with now a tornado on the ground. Again, this is just off to the south and the west of Pleasant Hill. Again, I don't think that was actually debris signature. I think that was some sort of radar contamination there. Doesn't matter, though. Again, you have to take cover to guarantee that you're going to survive this. Again, it sounds dramatic, but the best thing to do if you're in a mobile home is get out of there now and get into a ditch. Even though it sounds stupid, that is proven to be the best way. I would say you could look it up, but you probably don't have time to look it up if it's that desperate that you have to get into a ditch instead of find a building to get into. So, anyway, look it up after. But again, I don't want to make it seem like that's a great option. Like, the only way to guarantee your safety in a situation like this is by getting underground in a sturdy building. You can't get underground. An interior room should work just fine the same way. Make sure it doesn't have windows, though. I mean, if it's interior, it doesn't have windows. When I say interior, what I mean is, let's say you're trying to punch through one of these walls. Let's imagine you're so strong that you're able to punch through one of these walls. If you punch one of the walls, you don't want your fist to be outside in this situation, if that makes any sense. If you were to punch through the wall, the type of area you should be in is where if you were to punch through it, your fist would land into another room, not outside. Does that make any sense at all? I've seen some other people use that analogy. Hopefully that made sense. Don't think I told that perfectly, but whatever. Basically, just get in the middle of your house, basically. Preferably in like a closet or a bathroom. Again, preferably underground or in a storm shelter would be the best thing, but if you can't do that, understandable. You don't have a basement or something. There you go. It's the next best thing. Again, this tornado is just to the south and the west of Benham, and to the south and the east of Benham, and to the south and the west of North Elkin in North Carolina here. Again, I still believe this is on the ground. I really do. I said this last time, and I don't think it was, but this could be some sort of debris signature here, a light debris signature there to the west of Pleasant Hill. It's definitely possible. I don't know, though. We'll just kind of have to wait. I mean, even if we wait, we're not going to figure it out, most likely, unless we get to a clearer area, but this thing would have to travel a long time to get into a less messy correlation coefficient zone. So, we just got to watch it from here. Nothing we can do about it. It is getting close to the radar site, so our view will get better and better, hopefully, as time goes on. I mentioned this a while ago, but this thing over Fisher Peak to the south and the east of Galax now is starting to rotate still pretty decently, so watch out for that. May just feel like your normal garden variety storm, but there's just a little bit of rotation associated with that, so look out there. Don't need to take cover or anything, but make sure that you do have a way to receive alerts in case the National Weather Service issues a tornado or severe thunderstorm warning for that. This newest velocity scan looks like maybe, just maybe, our tornado has possibly lifted here. Stay in shelter, it could recycle, it could still be on the ground technically, but it looks like it may have possibly lifted, which means we do have time very briefly here to go back to our flash flood emergency. Again, we've got more rain falling here, so it's only going to get worse. It's not going to get better for a while. We've still got a huge pocket of rain coming into that area, maybe even some more storms. So it's not going to get any better there. But if you see clear ground now, you should be fine. That is the best thing you can do. You should have the comfort of knowing that's the best thing you can do. There's nothing you can do to be more safe than that. Yeah, I think that was possibly a correlation coefficient drop. It might not have been, but I think it might have been, and if it was, that would also go along with our theory that this has lifted. I don't know, it's not in the best spot, though. It's not, like, matched up with the velocities. Maybe it wasn't a CC drop. But either way, I'm thinking this is lifted, but I may be wrong, and it could recycle even if it has lifted. So stay in shelter, take cover. They did not reissue our other tornado warning, so we're left with just these two, and they're both for this same tornado here. This one should really be expired. If you're in Jonesville or Rhonda, you're good. This is past you. All clear. But areas like Dobson, we're concerned about you. This is going to go off to the west side of Dobson, most likely. The far west side of Dobson, areas like the Central Middle School, the Joan and Howard Woltz Hospice Home, and the Dobson Kinder Care. So watch out there. Again, new velocity scan, looking like things may be starting to calm down here, but we've still got a decent amount of rotation right there. And all these major storms that we're looking at are in North Carolina, surprisingly, rather than the areas that have the enhanced risk of severe weather. Alright, that one tracked a little bit longer than I thought it would, unless it lifted earlier than it looked like it did, but tracked longer than I thought it would. But yeah, I'm thinking at this point it definitely has lifted. Let's wait for this velocity update though, because it never really had a CC drop, so it's not surprising that it still doesn't. But let's see this. The velocities will be matched up somewhere in there now. Let's see if it's still intense and still on the ground. And we can't tell just with the velocities alone, but we can get a pretty good idea. Yeah, I mean, it looks like it's lifted, but it may even be trying to recycle already as it goes through Poplar Springs, Pleasant Ridge, and State Road. the Terry's Cafe and Catering, right on top of you, just off to the west of you. It's in the State Road area, I do believe, on the southeast side of State Road in North Carolina. If we take it back, you can see the blues and the greens, the dark greens and the grays were definitely meeting up much better before than they are now. So that's usually a sign of weakening rotation / a tornado lifting. Which hopefully that's what this means this time. Hopefully it's not just in a recycling phase, and hopefully it's actually trying to lift here. All of our other tornado warnings have expired. This severe thunderstorm warning just expired. Things are calming down. It was a very brief period of intense severe weather there, but it was very intense. Sorry, I was responding to a comment there. Randomly, our live stream from yesterday morning. What the heck? Why does it say I have another severe weather stream scheduled? I don't know. YouTube is weird. Our stream from yesterday morning has over 500 views. And those aren't people watching it live. Those are people watching it back and enjoying it, which I'm happy about. That stream has gotten almost 11 hours of viewing time, which is amazing. I want to thank you guys all for the random support. I don't know what I did to deserve that, but thank you. I'm not going to complain about it, that's for sure. It's just weird how I'll do a stream and I'll get 4 views, but then I'll do another stream and it'll get 500 views. But again, thank you guys. The support recently has been amazing like that. So yeah, it was the Lake Charles historic 140 mile per hour wind event. That's the stream title name. If you didn't know, we did get 4 injuries from that pocket of very high winds. And there was one in critical condition. I don't have an update on that, unfortunately. Hopefully they did make it through that okay. Again, please make sure we're praying for those people. Actually, it looks like we had 5 damaging wind reports of injuries from Louisiana yesterday. This one came in late, but tree on an electricity company truck led to 1 minor injury from yesterday. So, yeah. Alright. Back to the stream here. Or back to the live coverage here, rather. Again, this tornado's definitely lifted. The rotation's letting up, which is very good. Stay in shelter for a few more minutes as a precautionary thing. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful, beautiful sunset over Charlotte, North Carolina right now. I think it just happens to be so beautiful because the color of the sky is like the exact same as the colors of these seats here in the stadium. I think this is just a really beautiful view of the stadium in general, but whenever you add a sunset like that to it, that could be a screensaver right there, guys. Like, screenshot that, set it as your desktop background or your mobile background, whatever you want to do. That is an amazing look right there. I'm going to keep that up just because it's so easy on the eyes. I'm going to take down Ryan Holzcam, though. Not too much going on there. you can see part of it is the fact that it's such just a beautiful sunset. It's beautiful from that too. Also, I like how it looks like a partly cloudy and sunny day, but then you've got moderate rainfall coming down. Anyway, I'll stop yapping. We do have a new severe thunderstorm warning. That's gonna be there in North Carolina once again. So nothing new. No new information. Oh wait, no. It is new information. But, I mean, it was going to be new information anyway, but there's a new severe thunderstorm warning for the storm that is currently tornado warned. It looks like they're going to drop the tornado warning and leave us with the tornado possible tag on that severe thunderstorm warning. But hopefully what that means is the severe weather threat's calming down. We can end the live. And I think there's no more amazing way to end off this live stream than by looking at a beautiful sunset from North Carolina. Just goes to show how you can have a tornado at one end of the state and just about 100 miles away get a beautiful view like this. So I want to thank you all for tuning into this live stream. It has been absolutely, I don't know if I want to say incredible. That sounds bad whenever you're talking about tornadoes. This view's incredible. This stream has been eventful. That's what I'll say. So, again, I want to thank you all for tuning in. Crazy stream. Very fun. Got to talk to Mr. Storm. Got to watch some weather. One of my favorite combos to do. My favorite things to do combined. But yeah, I'll see you guys all later. Peace.